motion. Irons gets it and bites to the end zone. Now a very late touchdown signal. It's caught by Tommy Trott, and the tight end just trots into the end zone for an Auburn touchdown. Newton flips it near side into the end zone. Touchdown, Kenny McKinley. And welcome back to Williams-Brice Stadium for the second half. There is some buzz and some belief in the air. The home field underdogs within 4 points. Auburn has led throughout, but that touchdown pass you saw from Newton to McKinley with 46 seconds to go in the first half. Finally, the Gamecocks cashing in the red zone within 4.
Well, and that's what it's taken for South Carolina to get back in his football game, is Sadell Newton making plays. It's interesting. We thought coming in his athleticism would be a big factor with his young offensive line against such a great defensive front from Auburn, and it was. I mean, if you look at his yardage, he doesn't have great yards, but he has valuable yards. But the thing that I've seen with the Home Depot coaching adjustment is the way he's been able to throw the football when given time, and he has to be excited as we start this second half. And on the other side for Auburn, it's the poise and maturity of their quarterback, Brandon Cox, making checks, getting his offense in the right position, and of course, putting the ball into the arms of Kenny Irons, one of the best in the country, who had a very productive first half. But I love to see Brandon Cox in a position to help his team by using his mind and his poise. And Chris, to start the second half, Auburn gets the football, and with this crowd back in the game, Brandon Cox needs to take control for the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn ran only 22 plays in the first half. 2 very long, good-looking touchdown drives, but it was the Gamecocks dominating the time of possession. And the kickoff is dropped by Lester, who now finds a crease. A flag is down. It's going to be against Auburn, and the Tigers will start with very poor field position here to begin the second half.
Give me a holding call, big time.
Turn, holding, 9 of the receiving team. Penalty half the distance to goal from the end of the run. First down.
Let's see what Tommy Tuberville told Aaron Andrews at halftime. Aaron?
Chris, Tommy Tuberville told me he was happy with the offense, thought they ran the ball really well. I said, what has South Carolina figured out with their defense? He said, basically, he likes the way South Carolina is spreading the ball out. He said, Coach Spurrier is playing basketball on grass. He's throwing it, and the guys are catching it. He said, with Auburn's defense, they're out there way too long. They're going to concentrate on playing a lot better on third down, Chris.
We got some mashup issues to solve in that Auburn defense, but it's the Tigers with the football. The penalty pushing him back to the 7-yard line, and here comes the noise. They stretch it, and Irons kind of stumbles forward for no gain.
South Carolina loading the box, trying to outnumber Auburn's personnel with the offensive line. You cannot believe this. Ball control, you would never think at halftime that Steve Spurrier would have this big an advantage over Auburn, but he has shown tremendous patience in the first half. We'll see if it continues.
Gamecocks had that interception in the end zone when Newton was looking for Rice, and Harry made the pick. And they might have the lead here. Cox floats back into his end zone and dumps it off to the fullback. And it's Trey Smith. And again, a flag down far side of the field as the senior out of Venice, Florida, got up near first down yardage, but we'll check the marker. It'll be offside. Patience and Spurrier. Those two words don't usually go together. Tuberville knows it, but that's been maybe by necessity here. He's found some things in that very stout Auburn defense that he can use, though, and they're shorthanded in the secondary tonight, and Spurrier taking advantage.
Offsides, 55 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
You got Stanley Doty, the backup nose tackle, will accept that penalty.
I think Doty was so excited he lined up in the neutral zone there, and it's a no-no. So again, the crowd in this game right now. We'll see what happens here in this series. Again, let's watch the poise here, Brandon Cox.
Courtney Taylor very quiet tonight, top of your screen.
Just keep aiming.
Irons again. Waits, finds a hole, and skips through it up near the first down marker at the 22. Good patience from the senior.
Great term there with the skip, Chris, because to be going downhill as fast as he was and to be able to stop with not only the vision but the burst, the cut. He's going full speed and he just skips over behind that offensive lineman to be able to get across the line or at least have a chance here at a first down. But that's the thing that I think separates him, is how physical, how quick he is, and then how he can just hop, skip behind a big lineman and still get upfield.
Think about how deep they were. Irons transferring over here, and here's a first down. Sitting behind Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams, biding his time, waiting his turn. But those three guys all on the campus at one time for Tuberville.
And I asked Al Borges, I said, can we put Kenny Irons in that category with Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams? But you're talking about special players. And he said he is at that level. Kenny Irons has a chance to be at that level.
Cox, play action fake. Oh, and he had a man wide open over the middle. Rod Smith couldn't corral it. We talked about, Aaron, what an important night this is for Irons, and he's delivering so far.
He certainly is. And Kirk, you're mentioning how he's battling his way through. Remember, Will Muschamp, defensive coordinator for Auburn, telling us on our conference call, his defense hates going up against Kenny Irons in practices. They'll look over at Coach Muschamp and say, are you serious? I mean, because they know how many guys it takes to put Kenny Irons down on the ground.
That's his own defensive coordinator telling us that my own guys don't want to tackle him in scrimmages.
You like the Kenny flex there?
Yeah,
you got that first down? He's got it again. This time, excellent penetration. Jordan Lindsay, the backup defensive end, able to grab Irons around the legs. So South Carolina, in an effort, Kirk, not to get worn down on defense, as all of Auburn's opponents have done so far this year, really rotating in the D-line a lot.
Good point, and that's something that you see a lot in the SEC, and you see it a lot with the premier programs that are able to afford putting different players in. You have to have depth to be able to match up with the better teams in the country, and South Carolina taking that risk with some of their backups. Big third down.
Gamecocks jumping around on 3rd and 11. Plenty of time for Cox. Delivers over the middle, in traffic, caught, and very near first down yardage is Lee Guess, the high school teammate of Cox. He was bobbling the football. He's right near that yellow line. Guess, the senior out of Trussville, Alabama. They've been best buddies and teammates since they were about the 7th grade. Cox and Guess waiting behind a lot of good wide receivers in his career and finally getting a chance as a senior to make the catch.
Well, the ball comes out after he was down and across the first down line.
He kind of squished on it to hold the ball.
Right.
Leaned down on it to secure it.
But you know what? I don't blame Brandon Cox. You get down to 3rd down, you go back to a guy you've been hanging out with since 7th grade. Makes sense to me.
Guess, by the way, graduated in 3 years and will get his master's degree in business, his MBA in 5 years this spring. That's fast MBA, 5 years, my friend. He's a pretty fast running back, although he is horse-collared at the 30. Let's see if Kenny Irons can continue the trend here, Kirk. They've been so much better running the football in the second half. You know, their yards per carry double after halftime as a team, and especially for Irons as the offensive line begins to wear down the defense. It's been the pattern. We'll see if the Gamecocks, an undersized defense, can hang in there in the second half.
Be much more of a challenge in this game and, of course, in the LSU game than some of the other opponents that they've played.
That's Trey Smith going in motion to the top of your screen. Cox looking that direction, fires, caught, and stopped after about a 9-yard gain is Smith, the senior from Florida. Let's go back to Reese Davis in the studio. Reese, what do you have?
Well, Chris, every week we honor the singular All-America Player of the Week. This week, Brady Quinn with that great comeback for Notre Dame against Michigan State. 5 touchdown passes, 319 yards. And every week, you can vote. Text VOTE to 87654 on your singular wireless phone. You could win a trip to the national championship game.
All right, Brady getting it done for the final 8 minutes of the game, I guess, against the Spartans. You certainly had the best 8 minutes of football last weekend.
Yeah,
about the entire 60.
Michigan State had the worst 8 minutes of football.
See if Smith was able to pick up first down yardage, and the catch just short. You know, it's really been Courtney Taylor when they've gone to the air in the first 4 ball games. It's been number 86, the senior, on the receiving end of most of the passes, but tonight they've really spread it around.
Well, I think for Auburn to be able to make a run through the SEC and go on to win the SEC, somebody besides Courtney Taylor will have to be able to make some big plays, and tonight he is not involved at all. He doesn't have a catch.
You won't get a catch here as Cox just tries to plow straight ahead on 3rd and short. Looks like they've spotted it for a first down.
Starting this drive so far back inside their own 10-yard line at the 7-yard line. Just being able, after the way the first half ended and going now and looking at the way the second half started, being pinned back at your own 7, picking up a couple first downs. Very important to creating some tempo for Brandon Cox. And he looked a little bit, yeah, looked like he's had some injuries that he's had to battle through. That left ankle that he bothered him against LSU.
Only thrown 6 for 9 tonight, so he's very. You can
79 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Jonathan Palmer, the right tackle. Hey, you're Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Here they come.
How about this? This is a trap, potential road trap for them. South Florida on their home field, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2, offered in high def.
Greg Schiano, being from Florida, background in Miami, he'll have his team ready to play. The Scarlet Knights are going to 6-0 by the time they play Pitt.
And we'll see him against Louisville on Thursday night later this season. Play action fake. Cox wide open down the middle, connects with Rod Smith, and he's inside the 40. So the sophomore from Snellville, Georgia, not the fastest guy out there, but a very good route runner, good hands, hauls it in for 31 yards. Stoney Woodson on the stop.
Just broken coverage here. 1st and 15. Al Borges breaks the tendency, thinking run the football, run the football. South Carolina's thinking run the football. Confusion in the middle of the defense. Chris Hampton, one of the safeties, and Stoney Woodson, the other, leaving that time a wide open Rod Smith right down the middle of the field.
And right back to Irons. Again, trying that left side, tripped up. Jasper Brinkley there to clean it up. Looked like he might have had some daylight there. You can see that Kenny still has some fans here again. He came to South Carolina to play for Lou Holtz. Demetrius Summers was involved in a competition for the starting tailback spot. Irons got disgruntled. Summers is a local product, felt like he wasn't going to win that battle, transferred to Auburn, sat out a year, and has had 2 excellent years for the Tigers. Cox has the ball in play action, and once again has a man wide open. It's Tommy Trott, who caught the touchdown earlier. Similar type play as he fights down near the 22 for a first down.
Well, this is where Al Borges gets into a position as a play caller to be creative, because he has you at his mercy at 2nd and 5. You're thinking, of course, Kenny Irons, we have to take him out. And that's when he usually sets things up. How often did you see him do that 2 years ago with Cadillac or Ronnie Brown? The play action with Jason Campbell and then throwing the football.
You can see Irons so productive at Auburn the last couple of years. This is his first time back in this stadium since he played for South Carolina. And so far, it's been what he was looking for tonight. First down. Quick hitter. That time it's Carl Stewart. Short game.
I love how they feed Big Carl the ball. Every about 15 plays, he gets his hands on the ball. It's the least they can do for him.
Again, there's a guy that might be able to play tailback at another school, even in the SEC, but he's got tailback skills, they say.
He's a tailback playing fullback. Look at his build. You're telling me that's a fullback? Stewart looks like he is a specimen there, and that's what they appreciate, the fact he's bought into some of that tough work up front and being able to take on those defensive backs and safeties.
Cox has the ball, flips it off to the outlet, and then once again it's Trott who's been active tonight. 1st and goal down inside the 10 before Jordan Lindsay stopped, and Cox is in a rhythm here. Nice high percentage passes. He's 5 for 5 on this drive.
And the other thing that's happening right now is when he drops back to throw, they're looking downfield at the receivers, and they've completely lost Tommy Trot. These last 3 catches that he's been able to make, it's almost like he just kind of waits for everything to clear out and then just moves to the outside. And nice awareness by Brandon Cox to find him as an outlet for big yardage.
Trot, the freshman, redshirt freshman.
Here he goes again. Sees something that he wants to attack.
Courtney Taylor, top of the screen. That's where he's looking. Throws it in the end zone on the fade. Incomplete. Yeah, he saw that single coverage, and Taylor's been shut out tonight, but good coverage for the future NFL corner, Fred Bennett.
He saw 8 defenders up within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage, locked in on the run. And Fred Bennett, we haven't talked much about him because we've spent so much time talking about David Irons of Auburn as a corner. But Fred Bennett is a great cover guy in his own right. And you think about Coe Simpson, who left this defense early to go to the NFL. Jonathan Joseph, who left this defense to go to the NFL. It's all been on Fred Bennett with 10 new defenders. He's kind of the anchor for this defense.
Go back to Irons on 2nd and goal, and a good job interior line of that Gamecock defense, able to hold the blockers off, and Jasper Brinkley, the middle backer, threw for the tackle.
That time Jasper Brinkley able to avoid some blocks up front. Joe Cope, the center, trying to get up to him, but he's able to, with his speed, go right by him and get into the hole before Kenny Irons could build up some momentum. This is a big play here.
Cox in the slot. They were looking for that slant, well read by that Gamecock defense. Sapp, the linebacker, dropping into coverage, got a hand on it.
Sapp may have saved a touchdown there off of play action, jumped into the line of scrimmage respecting Kenny Irons, but his awareness to get back and to get into throwing lane between Brandon Cox and his receiver. He got a hand up and deflected the ball away. That was a big stop for the South Carolina defense.
And there's John Vaughn, his first field goal attempt of the night. He's become a very steady kicker. Junior and senior years after that debacle at LSU a year ago, and he missed 5 in the overtime loss. He drives this one right through. That's the last SEC loss for this Auburn team. Since then, they've won 19 out of 20, and the lead back to 7 midway 3rd quarter. Gamecocks to get the ball back when you come back. Hey, it's nice work from the University Chorus here.
Very nice. Appreciate that.
Fans are in good voice right now. South Carolina to receive the ball after that marathon march by Auburn to begin this second half. 85 yards in 17 plays, and they chew up more than 8.5 minutes of the quarter before Vaughn. And now the little pooch kick, and there's nobody over there for South Carolina. Auburn has recovered. Oh, the Mississippi Gambler, Tommy Tuberville, got him. That kickoff return team, Kirk, was just peeling back. They spotted it. There was nobody over there.
That is just a perfectly timed call by Tommy Tuberville after the long drive to start this second half of over 8.5 minutes. They've got him on the ropes. The timing is perfect. South Carolina bailing. The kick could not be any better. I think it went through Trey Smith's arms, but Auburn still jumps on top of it. And they have great field position after that long drive to get that tired South Carolina defense back on the field.
Trey Smith's going to hear about that. They got him over there because he's got good hands, and it bounces right up the numbers. They still recover, and now this Gamecock defense has to dig in. After the 8.5 minute drive, they were on the field for 17 plays, right back out there. And they're throwing right on first down. Once again, they've just been making hay all night. Courtney Taylor finally has a catch in the ball game, and he rumbles down inside the 35. 18 yards. And Auburn, boy, they know how to build a momentum, don't they?
Look how many people South Carolina, they've been showing this. They have everybody at the line of scrimmage. They're going to slide Taylor down and out. We saw it earlier with Trot off of the play action. Look at all the red shirts going to the right. Throws it back, this time not to the tight end, but to the speed of Courtney Taylor.
Irons running to his right, spins back in the center, gets clocked by Ryan Brown, the defensive end. Nice pursuit by Brown, but a decent gain for Kenny Irons. Back to Reese in the studio.
All right, Chris, Yankees and Orioles are playing, and the Orioles have a 7-1 lead. Now, the significance, the Yankees do not have a base hit yet. Daniel Cabrera is throwing a no-hitter. It's on ESPN2. They're going to the bottom of the ninth. The Yankees' runs coming on a couple of errors and a couple of pass balls.
Now, researcher Chris Felica here will be most distressed with the Yankees in a hole. On 2nd and 7, they hand it to Taylor now. On the reverse, he skips for a couple of yards, but Joel Reeves, the nose tackle there, to gobble him up. So a few little wrinkles from Borges here.
We made such a big deal out of Steve Spurrier showing patience in the first half and how he won the time of possession, which is a shock to anybody who follows college football. Boy, in the second half, he can't get his hands on the ball. I can't get him off the field.
Did you see the little smirk? I think Tuberville said, all right, enough goofing around. Let's run some basic stuff. We got their defense worn out. I'm not sure that was wholehearted approval of that last call there, Coach. Cox on 3rd down, flips it short out of the hands. Robert Dunn, the sophomore from Augusta, couldn't hold it. Now we're going to see what Tuberville wants to do to send out Vaughn from long range here. It'll be 4th and 6.
Wow. He's really sensing that he's got him on the ropes right now for him to be willing to go. He's got a kicker in Vaughn who can make this. But after the onside kick, Tommy Tuberville saying, let's go right now for the jugular. Let's try to capitalize on this field position.
Courtney Taylor split wide to the left. Let's see if they actually run a play here or call time. Now they will snap it with 3 in the play clock. Cox has time, fires, caught, 1st down, and it's right back to Robert Dunn, who dropped the previous pass. So they convert the 4th and 6. Mutterland on the stop, first catch of the night for Dunn. Only his 2nd of the season. So Tuberville, some gambles here, huh? The little pooch kick going for it on 4th and 6.
But after the pooch, I don't blame. This makes a lot of sense. After that long drive, you got a defense that is tired. Why not roll the dice up 7? Try to take advantage of it and keep wearing down the South Carolina defense while you have the opportunity. And right now, Brandon Cox spreading the ball around.
They've now run 22 plays since the Gamecocks have had the football. They flip it to Irons. Again, he tries to spin. He gets inside the 20. They may have grabbed his face mask over there. Carlos Thomas was in coverage.
Carolina, there's a flag on the play.
Yep, it's going to be holding against Auburn. You saw the officials conversing there. Tommy begs to differ.
Tommy is usually a pretty laid-back coach when it comes to getting into the face of the officials, but I think he feels that this drive is vitally important, considering he has controlled the ball for the entire 3rd quarter.
On the offense, number 15. 10-yard penalty for the end of the run. Still 1st down.
They got Preshay Rodriguez, the receiver, trying to block for Irons on the hold.
Steve Spurrier cannot get the ball back, and we talk about
no yards because they have no plays.
Yeah, we talk about how he gets impatient. People feel that he gets impatient. Where he gets impatient is when he can't get on the field.
He's going crazy right now.
He's
going crazy
on
here.
The field. That's where he's impatient.
Tuberville knows that too. Cox pressured. Ball knocked free. It's recovered by an Auburn offensive lineman. So good pressure on Cox. Jordan Lindsay came around the end. Cox slow to get up there, Kirk. Lindsay forcing the fumble. And he's been limping around.
If there's one area that Auburn's offense is vulnerable in pass protection, it's still the young tackles. Great effort by Lindsay. Nice coverage downfield. The effort of Lindsay to get around Jonathan Palmer that time creates almost a big turnover for South Carolina.
At least Palmer recovered the fumble. If you're going to get beat on the sack, it was Palmer who fell on the ball. 2nd and 23 now. You keep an eye on Cox, who is limping after that sack. 1 on the play clock as they snap it, and it's Irons. Not much room up the middle. Conservative call on 2nd and 23. Jean-Pierre and Lindsay combining on the stop.
This is the 8th play of this drive. The last drive, they were on the field for
17
plays. 25th play in the last 2 drives that Auburn's offense has been on the field, and the South Carolina defense that, for whatever reason, seems like they're getting more energy these last couple plays. That's pretty impressive. 25 straight plays and still out there playing with a lot of energy.
Quick drop in the shotgun. Plenty of time for Cox. Fires over the middle. Has a man wide open and a 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. And Courtney Taylor, who had a very slow start to this ball game, is now beginning to find some space in that Gamecock secondary.
Boy, 3rd and long. And Brandon Cox giving everything that he has. I'll go back to what I said at the beginning of the game. Where I fell in love with Brandon Cox was last year. The pressure, his ability to step in and be able to just block out adversity. The pressure came in on him. He waited to the last possible second for Courtney Taylor to clear and beat his man, Carlos Thomas, and a perfect strike for the 1st.
Taylor set to the left. They pitch it to Irons. Cuts back to the middle. He was clocked in the middle by Stanley Doty, the nose tackle, but still falls forward inside the 3.
He was clocked 8 yards downfield. Nice job of the offensive line just getting the push, getting to the outside. If you're going to play Auburn this year, not only do you have to deal with the downhill running in between the guards and tackles because of the inside zone, but they like to get to the outside and bring their linemen, their athleticism, and their people in the interior of their line around the corner.
A 3rd and 21 conversion, just gutting the Gamecock defense. Now they got to dig deep on 2nd and goal. Fullback diving forward. Stewart stops short. I mean, they've had the ball for the entire 3rd quarter on these 2 possessions. The defense in red has been out there, and now trying to protect the last yard of real estate they can and keep this under a 2-touchdown game.
It was 28 plays in the 3rd quarter. Auburn able to run. South Carolina's defense on the field. And now it comes down to the courage of a goal line stand. No better time to have a goal line stand and test your manhood than on the 29th play of the 2nd half.
It'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Irons hammered short of the goal line. And the Gamecocks showing plenty of heart and muscle in there. Jasper Brinkley, the Mike Backer.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now with South Carolina. All this time on the field, they're tired, fatigued. Puts his shoulder right into Kenny Irons, one of the more physical runners in the SEC, to set up a 4th and goal at the half-yard line.
Auburn controls the ball for the entire 3rd quarter, still leads by only 7. They better hunker down and be strong in this first play of the 4th quarter. The ball coach ran no ball plays in that 3rd quarter. And now Auburn 4th and about a foot. Trying to go up by 14.
This is it right here. Test the manhood. Who wants it here?
6 offensive linemen in there for the Tigers. Irons gets the call. Dives. Reaches over. They signal touchdown. So he broke the plane with the football in the air before he let it go. Touchdown signaled, and Kenny Irons has scored 2 touchdowns tonight in his homecoming game. And Auburn has run, what, 31 straight plays. They're going to review this.
Well, they're going to take a look at it, but I'm going to go back to Tommy Tuberville's decision. Tommy Tuberville's decision to kick the onside kick and then to go for it on 4th down once and to go for it on 4th down twice. That is a touchdown. He had possession of the football as he was trying to cross the plane. That's a touchdown.
He put it in his left hand, you're saying, as he brought it down, because he only had one hand on it at the end here.
He has possession, and it's the front of the line. If he got across the plane, it's a touchdown. I know he fumbles it when he comes down, but he has, as he was going through the initial plane, he crosses it, and that's a touchdown. But it, again, right there, touchdown.
Yeah, it was Jasper Brinkley, number 52, trying to haul Irons back out of the end zone by the legs. I agree with you. I think it is going to be, ruled a touchdown. It'll be confirmed in the replay booth, but from a Gamecock perspective, you can see why they would say he didn't quite have possession.
Sure, but again, let me give you a Gamecock perspective. I know that that's frustrating to give him that touchdown. I cannot say enough about Tyrone Nix's defense and what he just tried to do and that group tried to do, being out of the field the entire third quarter into the fourth quarter and still playing as hard as they did. They're gonna give up a touchdown. And then on the other side, Chris, Tommy Tuberville taking a chance with only a 7-point lead with the onside kick, and then being able to attack and go for the touchdowns twice on fourth down going for it.
Saw Jasper Brinkley there, Kirk, 9 tackles. He's the guy, along with his brother, Georgia Military Academy, not too far from here.
After reviewing the play, video shows the ball carrier broke the plane of the goal line with the ball before it came loose, therefore the ruling stands, touchdown.
So the second touchdown run for Irons. Jasper Brinkley wasn't really wanted by the University of Georgia. They wanted Casper, but they didn't want both of them, and Casper said, no, it's a package deal. We go somewhere together. South Carolina's got them both, and they're glad they got him, but just not able to stop Irons before the end zone there.
He's playing well tonight. Interesting, both of Kenny Irons' touchdowns tonight under review, and both of them ended up holding up for touchdowns.
And that'll be fodder for the talk shows here in Columbia tomorrow. But tonight, it's Auburn up by 14. Finally, Spurrier seems going to get the football back, we think. The entire crew here.
First time I've seen it here on TV.
Imagine this guy. He's one of the least patient coaches in America, one of the least patient people in the world. His offense has momentum at the end of the first half. Brilliant execution by Newton. They get down, score a touchdown, cut it to 4, and he hasn't run an offensive play since then. When's the last quarter you saw where one team had the ball the entire time?
I don't think I've ever seen that. And can you name an offensive coach that is more irritated by that than Steve Spurrier in the history of the sport?
No, because he had momentum. Things were working.
He's
they were
about
clicking.
to go out there and tackle somebody.
They were clicking at the end of the first half for him. He's had to wait now.
Momentum, everything. They even had Auburn on their first drive at third down a number of times. Couldn't stop them.
Yeah, and instead of being down by 4, he's now down by 14.